Today, truth in advertising has suffered an ignominious defeat. My mortarboard says one size fits all. And that's just not right. One size doesn't fit all. And no comments about a swelled head. I'd appreciate that. When it was suggested that we hold this ceremony outdoors on October the 11th in Central Ohio, I said, we're going to do what? We're going to count on nice weather? Really? Thankfully, venue selection is above my pay grade. So, welcome, everyone. Distinguished guests, members of the faculty, students, staff, alumni, and friends, good afternoon and welcome. I'm Tom Hoagland, class of 1971, and chair of the Board of Trustees. This is an auspicious moment, and I'm so pleased that you could be with us today for the inauguration of Adam S. Weinberg as 20th president of Denison University. This ceremony is a public expression of commitment to this very special community of learning. Today, we formally induct Adam Weinberg into our family, and we bestow upon him the symbols of the presidency. We do so with gratitude for all that has come before in the storied history of our college, with pride in the extraordinary talent and dedication of today's Denisonians, and with a profound sense of optimism and anticipation for the future as the next chapter in the life of our college unfolds. Now I'd like to bring to the podium Provost Kim Copeland.
Today is a celebration and a beginning. There are many such events in the life of a college. Just a few weeks ago in this very place, we celebrated the beginning of the college experience for members of the class of 2017 at the induction ceremony. Last spring, we celebrated the graduation of the members of the class of 2013 and the beginning of their lives after college. Tradition and ceremony come naturally to members of a college community, especially one such as Denison, which enjoys not only a distinguished history, but also a profound readiness for the future. Today's celebration is a different kind of beginning, one that is relatively rare in the annals of our history. We are welcoming a new president, a leader with vision and courage who will help to set the course of our college in an increasingly complex world. A moment ago, the chair of our Board of Trustees used the word family. President Weinberg, since you've been on campus, we've heard you say repeatedly that you're struck by the importance of relationships at Denison, that while the quality of teaching and learning here is unsurpassed on the landscape of higher education, it's also true that our people take on this critically important enterprise with kindness, empathy, respect, and compassion. Individuals matter at Denison. In this climate, relationships grow to last a lifetime. And as we welcome you to our family, President Weinberg, we also take this moment to welcome your family, your wife, Anne, and your children, Margaret, Nathan, and Abigail. Anne, Margaret, Nathan, and Abigail, would you all stand so we can welcome you with a round of applause? I am now pleased to introduce those who will offer greetings to President Weinberg. From the students, Ana Morales, a senior from Lawrence, Massachusetts, and president of the Dennis Campus Governance Association. From the faculty, Kathy Dollard, associate professor of history, chair of the faculty, and member of the Denison class of 1988. From the Emeriti faculty, Zavin Karian, Professor Emeritus of Mathematics and Computer Science. From the alumni, Casey Kraust, member of the class of 1997, managing partner of Retail Strategic Ventures and president of Denison Society of the Alumni. And from the staff, Sandra Cook, Registrar Associate and President of the Denison Operating Working Staff.
Hi, everyone. My name's Ana Morales. President Weinberg, we, the students of Denison, welcome you. We come from places as far away as China and Australia, and as close by as the village of Granville at the foot of the hill. We are legacies from longtime Denison families and first-generation college students. We are the most diverse student body in the history of this college. We look to Denison and to you to help us develop the knowledge and skills that will serve us in our personal, civic, and professional lives. Already, we find ourselves getting to know you, just as you're learning about us. And I don't mean just us as a group of more than 2,000 undergraduates. I mean us as individuals. Stories abound of you stopping to chat with students. As we walk across the quad, you ask us where we're from, you ask about our studies, you pay attention in such a focused way that we suspect that you've memorized or at least internalized everything we say. We look forward to more of that as you come join us in Slater and in the dining halls, and as you visit us on the athletic fields, at performances and exhibitions. We are a varied and interesting bunch. We look forward to our shared experience of life here at Denison. At this year's induction ceremony for the class of 2017, you advised Denison's newest students to do 10 important things while they're here. You are quoting the Denison's Learning Guide, which includes a poster that hangs in many of our dorm rooms across campus. These words have great value on our campus, and they were given increased importance coming in the context of a new president, speaking to a class of Denisonians. Now, as you embark on this incredible journey as Denison's 20th president, I can think of no better advice than to humbly offer you your own words of wisdom, even though you probably know them by heart. So here they are, your own words. For a new Denisonian, ask questions, be creative, take risks, show courage, respect others, follow your heart, manage your time, take care of yourself, maintain your integrity, and please enjoy this. Thank you.
President Weinberg, on behalf of the faculty, I welcome you, Anne, and your family to our fair college on the Hill and to this exceptional community of teachers and learners. We welcome you as a member of the faculty and are delighted to have you as part of this Society of Teacher Scholars. As teachers, we seek to inspire students to become autonomous thinkers. In our labs, studios, and classrooms, we engage students with the most vital elements of the wide range of human endeavor in arts, sciences, books, and letters. As scholars, we seek to model for students the sort of intellectual engagement that is the hallmark of a dynamic and informed citizenry. Denison provides a uniquely supportive and energetic space for scholars to be active contributors to society's accumulated knowledge and inquiry. In our service to the college, this group of teacher scholars is committed to making Denison the best possible distillation of higher education. Now, doing all of this well, this engagement in teaching, scholarship, and service, it requires a lot of talking. In classrooms, at conferences, and in faculty meetings of all sorts, this is a faculty that likes to talk. I think, President Weinberg, you've seen a slice of that already. We welcome you to lead us in our talking, in our conversations with and about our students, our intellectual work, and our community. And we ask you to facilitate moving such conversations into action. We ask you to help us cultivate the enduring values that make Denison so special. And we ask you to lead us in considering how we should change, grow, and become even better at what we do best. Today, our college formally inaugurates a new leader, joining an impressive line of presidents who have gone before him, each of whom has played an essential role in shaping this home we love so well into an extraordinary place. The faculty of Denison University now welcomes you, Adam Weinberg, as our 20th president. We welcome your wisdom, your good cheer, your leadership, and your distinctive vision for the future of our college and our community. Welcome to Denison.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zaven Karian. President Weinberg, I'm delighted to have been selected to represent the Emeriti faculty in welcoming you to Denison. Many of us have chosen to stay in the Granville area and continue to be associated with Denison, each in our own way. Our affection for and commitment to Denison runs deep. President Weinberg, at a reception recently that you had for Emeriti faculty, you reflected on your initial reactions. You indicated that Denison faculty did not surprise you by their level of talent or scholarship, but that you were surprised by their commitment to mentorship and the quality of that membership. Denison faculty members are indeed dedicated to a level of engagement with students that makes a genuine difference in the students' lives. In fact, there are a number of Denison alumni who continue to be in contact with their professors decades after their graduation. That is part of our culture, and I'm proud to have been part of it for 49 years. In case some of you are trying to figure this out, I should hasten to add that I was 7 years old when I joined the faculty. We, the Emeriti, have a long view of Denison. Many of us have had the opportunity of working with several presidents, some of whom are actually here today. My own career overlapped those of Knapp, Smith, Presidents Knapp, Smith, Good, DeRocco, Myers, and Noble, and 2 interim presidents. Predictably, there will be agreements and disagreements between a president and the faculty. However, mutual respect will prevail. I personally always looked up to Dale Noble. He's about a foot taller than I am. And I'm pleased to note that when we first met, we immediately saw eye to eye. President Weinberg, the task of guiding and caring for Denison is now transferred from your predecessors to you. With your passion for the liberal arts and your appreciation for the highly personalized type of teaching, we know this college will continue to be nurtured. We welcome you, Adam Weinberg.
How about this day? I can't believe I forgot my sunblock and my sunglasses up here. And before I begin, I got to give all the students a shout out for this great showing. I love it. I also want to give you special props for that choreographed slow clap on our entrance. I loved it. I almost want to ask for it again right now. You guys are the best. Denison students have not changed. Anyway, hello, I'm Casey Crost, the class of 1997 and president of the Society of the Alumni. I feel truly incredibly fortunate to be a part of this momentous occasion. President Weinberg, I am delighted to represent the alumni in welcoming you, your wife Ann, their children, Nathan, Abigail, Margaret. Granville is a great place, and this alma mater, Denison, is just as good. Our college was founded in 1831. Within a few years of the first commencement exercises, the first gathering of graduates took place, and the Society of the Alumni was formed and continues to be an integral part of the Denison experience ever since. Today, there are more than 32,000 alumni across the country and around the world. From Argentina to Zimbabwe, and from advertising to zoology, we represent all walks of life. We are talented educators, captains of industry, gifted performers and entertainers, and dedicated civil servants. It is difficult to stereotype a Denisonian because we come from such diverse backgrounds, and because our individual talents and interests were broadened and well nurtured during our undergraduate years here. But as you get to know us, President Weinberg, you will find that Denisonians have a few things in common. We tend to be creative thinkers and problem solvers. We possess good interpersonal skills, and we team well with others. We like the color red, and for some reason, we're pretty good at walking up and down steep hills. We are a proud network of engaged leaders who take on the world with commitment, compassion for others, and entrepreneurial spirit. We also have an uncanny ability to find each other, whether it's sitting at a cafe in New York, riding an elevator in Paris, or taking a meeting in Los Angeles. It's not unusual for one of us to say, really, I went to Denison too. And just that fast, we're talking about the Hill, our favorite professors, where we like to study and party, and afternoon breaks at Witt's Frozen Custard. We are family. What we have accomplished in our lives, we owe in no small part to Denison. We carry this college in our hearts and in our minds. And we want future generations of Denisonians to have the same opportunities we had to learn, grow, and mature as individuals. President Weinberg, please know that as you lead this institution, you will be supported by the loyal men and women of the alumni. In fact, on our alumni portal, DenisonEverywhere.com, we asked alums to share with you their inaugural advice. The winning response: creative, enlightened, and truly understood by graduates from this special place in Ohio. Watch out for the deer. They are everywhere. With that thought in mind, the alumni of Denison wish you much happiness, tremendous success, and dear vigilance. Welcome to the family.
My name is Sandra Cook. On behalf of the Denison operating working staff, I welcome you to Denison and to the community of Granville. We, the operating working staff, provide daily operational support for the students, faculty, administrators, and for each other. We pride ourselves in our professionalism and our commitment to the college. We know that we are an important part of the network that keeps this campus functioning in its noble quest to fulfill the mission of the college. We are a diverse group who all share the same goal, and that is to continue to make Denison a better place for its students, faculty, and staff. In fact, President Weinberg, you will find that we take our responsibilities to the college and to the greater community very seriously. For example, you will soon start to hear about the Dow's auction. It's something the Denison operating working staff does every year to raise money for those who need it most. And just in case you haven't heard yet, it is important for you to understand that no matter how much you bid, you will never be able to buy Betty Harris chocolate chip cookies because Vice President Seth Patton will outbid you, even if you try to pull rank. President and Mrs. Weinberg, we look forward to getting to know you better, and we wish you only the best as you take us and Denison forward on this quest.
Thanks to all of you for those wonderful greetings. We're honored today to have three past presidents of Denison University here with us. Each has been an important part of the life of the college, and by their presence, we're reminded of Denison's history, traditions, achievements, and pride. As I introduce them to you, they'll stand, and please hold your applause until I have concluded the introductions. Andrew G. DeRocco was our 17th president, serving from 1984 until 1988. President DeRocco was a staunch advocate for enriching the lives of our students, both inside and outside our classrooms, labs, and studios. He established the Presidential Medalist Program, honoring exceptional seniors for their work and achievements, not only academically, but in service to the college and the community. Andrew DeRocco. Michelle Myers succeeded Dr. DeRocco as our 18th president, serving from 1989 until 1998. President Myers oversaw a period of impressive growth, most importantly with regard to Denison's academic reputation and endowment, helping to lay the foundation for many of Denison's successes for years to come. Michelle Myers. And back with us today is Denison's 19th president, Dale Noble. President Noble served the college from 1998 until his retirement on June 30th of this year. Denison is a place that never rests on its laurels, and Denison's achievement during his 15-year period of leadership, particularly given the national economic challenges of the time, are especially impressive, whether your measure is diversity, class profile, student-faculty ratio, facilities, endowment, or environmental initiatives. Dale Noble. Please join me now in thanking these three former presidents for joining us on this important occasion, and especially for their work on behalf of Denison University.
Thank you to the Denison Chamber Singers and to Professor Ching Chu Hu for that piece. As an institution of higher education, Denison University is especially proud of its alumni who have chosen to continue their quest for knowledge and become educators themselves. The fact that we have so many who do so and who are so accomplished in their fields of study is a tribute to the quality of the educational experience they received here at Denison. Author, educator, opinion leader, and Denison University Life Trustee David Bailey, class of 1955, is a specialist in international criminal justice. He earned his master's degree from Oxford University and his PhD from Princeton. He is Distinguished Professor Emeritus at the State University of New York at Albany. He has conducted extensive research in India, Japan, Australia, Canada, Britain, Singapore, and the United States. His work is focused on police reform, accountability, foreign assistance to police agencies, and crime prevention strategies. He has served as a consultant to the U.S. government and to the United Nations on Police Reform in Bosnia. He was a member of the International Oversight Commission for the Reform of the Police of Northern Ireland and is currently is a member of the UN's International Police Advisory Committee and its Global Police Policy Community Advisory Group. His most recent book is called The Police in War, Fighting Insurgency, Terrorism, and Violent Crime, co-written with Robert Perito. On a more personal note, Dr. Bailey grew up in Granville, where his father, F.C. Bailey, was Professor Emeritus of Philosophy and Dean of Men at Denison. During his undergraduate years, David was president of his class, a member of Phi Society and Phi Beta Kappa, Omicron Delta Kappa, Blue Key, and the Kappa Sigma fraternity. We were honored in 2011 when David accepted Denison's invitation to deliver the commencement address, at which time he was awarded an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters. And we are very honored that he is here with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. David Bailey.
Thank you very much, Kim, Adam, Tom, and ladies and gentlemen. Just a minute. Is this about right for everybody back there? Are you hearing? Okay, good. This is an important occasion in the life of a college, not just because you're changing leaders. It is the occasion to pause for a moment and to ask ourselves whether we at Denison are doing the right thing for our students. It's a time to see whether things are well with us, and I think this is particularly important because there is a lot of what I would call mischievous nonsense being talked about by the pundits and in the media, by politicians about education and higher education these days, especially about the value of broad-based liberal arts education. And I want to address that mischievous nonsense today. Now, before I do that, I think some of you are out there now saying, oh my God, this is going to be duller than I thought. The best advice I probably ever got at Denison was after a speech communication class, and I'd given a presentation, and one of my friends came up to me and he said, David, if you haven't got anything to say, for God's sake, be brief. I've never accepted the premise to that statement, but I am going to accept the advice. What is this mischievous nonsense that I keep hearing and you people keep hearing about? And it is that broad-based liberal education is too broad, too diaphanous, not focused enough. And what we need to do is to give to our people in colleges and universities the skills that they need immediately to be employed so that they land on the ground running and so that the people that are hiring say, oh good, we're glad we have this person. Now I think that's a very blighted view. Now I know at the same time, some of you, if you are seniors standing in the back, are beginning to have some anxiety because you're listening to these voices and you're worried about your future. And some of you are beginning to say, gosh, well, I'm gonna graduate from Denison, but then am I gonna work for McDonald's? Do I have to trade in my iPhone? Do I have to go back to that high school bedroom with the posters of Justin Bieber and Derek Jeter? Let me say, I don't think so. maybe briefly, but not for long. And let me give you some figures about this that I hope, well, three reasons at least, why I think this kind of advice is very short-sighted. And the first is that the unemployment rate, let's go right to the root of this, the unemployment rate for high school graduates, people without four-year degrees, is 3 times higher than it is for a person with a BA degree. 3 times higher. That's a lot of value that you've gotten from a 4-year college education. More than that, a BA over the course of their life will earn twice what a high school graduate will do. A person who has an MA degree, it will be 1.5 times more, and for a person who has a PhD, it'll be 3 times more in terms of earning power. Yes, I know. I must now say to my blighted colleagues over there on the faculty that there is a distinction between people who have PhDs and people who have professional degrees, and I lump them together. Sorry about that. It is true that people who have professional degrees will earn a bit more. Nonetheless, even you people are privileged in terms of your earnings. The second reason, they're clapping, but you'll notice weakly. The second reason why I think this is nonsense is that don't we all expect that the nature of our work will change in the course of our lives? Work generally is changing. And if you overemphasize the particular skills that people need at the moment, you are building for obsolescence. All of us, in the course of our lives, have learned our job 2, 3, and 4 times. What's important is not what you know at the very moment you graduate and are employed. What you need to know is how to learn and how to reinvent yourself time and time again. And so that's one of the things that Denison, with its emphasis on learning for a long time, builds in. And the third point that I have for you is that it's true that we all want to be employed. That is fundamental to a good life. At the same time, is that all we want, is to have a job? I don't think so. I think that most people have a larger ambition for when they're employed. And it is to be that kind of person, regardless of your line of work. I don't care whether you're a doctor or a lawyer, raising money for an arts council, running a dance troupe, whether you're in the performing arts. I don't care whether it's raising money for the PTA, organizing neighbors. Don't you all want to be that kind of voice that people listen to when they speak up? That kind of person that when they speak, people, remember the old E.F. Hutton ad? When E.F. Hutton speaks, some of you are old enough to remember this, but anyhow, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Isn't that what most of us want to be? So that people treat what we have to say with respect. We want to be that person who kind of rephrases the issue, and people say, gosh, I never thought about it that way. That makes good sense. I think that's the ambition that most of us have. And that's the ambition I am suggesting to you that Denison has for you. Now, how does Denison do that? Let me turn to that. Because Denison, and as it is constructed at the moment, just a bit, I'm shuffling my notes, here we go. Denison is constructed to provide the kind of education that gives you that transformative voice. And I think it does it in 4 particular ways. The first way is by teaching you the value of knowledge and making you competent in what you do. That's the foundation for being taken seriously in your line of work. But there's more to it than that. Denison also teaches you something else. It teaches you to think outside the box. It teaches you to understand what are the limitations in what you've learned and what you've been taught. What's the frontier? What are the next questions? What are the things that people have gotten wrong that we need your help in figuring out? That's the transformative part of having a transformative voice. And the third point is that Denison insists that you can communicate persuasively. You hear this all the time. They emphasize how you write and how you talk. That's fundamental to what Denison does. But there is then a fourth aspect to what Denison does to make you a transformative voice in anything that you may do. And that is, it gives you space to learn how to use your voice to mobilize others to carry out the vision that you have suggested. Don't we all know people that are competent, that speak in a loud voice, speak often as a matter of fact, but those are the kinds of people that begin to grate on your ear, and you say, if I hear him one more time, I am going to scream. In other words, you need people who not only are competent and have a voice and think outside the box, but can mobilize others and cause others to say, that really makes sense, and I'd like to help you do that. Now, where does Denison teach or encourage that? And the answer is not in a classroom. I don't think this is something that is teachable by faculty, no matter how gifted. It does it in the extracurricular parts of Denison. What happens in dance and in athletics and in all the clubs that you have is Denison provides you experimental space to learn how to communicate what is on your mind and to enlist others in your cause. It teaches you how to be successful in action and not just in words. I think that's what Denison provides. It provides you a place where you may fail, but in a relatively costless way. The only cost is probably some embarrassment. And I think, if I may confess a little bit, I think all of us who've been out of college for a while have kind of mixed feelings about Denison. On the one hand, we say, oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to be 21 again? And on the other hand, we say, oh my God, I don't want to be 21 again. Was I really that stupid? Was I really that young? Don't worry about that. I don't think many of us do who have gotten to this to some degree or some years after Denison. That kind of experimenting, even if it comes at the cost of some embarrassment, is valuable because it transforms your voice into action that mobilizes other people. It seems to me that this is the ambition that Denison has for all of you, to be a transformative voice, to be competent, to think outside the box, to speak and write persuasively, and to get others to follow your cause. This, I think, is what Denison is about. And so what I say is to the students who are here, if this is your ambition, you've come to the right place. And to the faculty, I say, if this is your ambition for your students, we're lucky to have you. And to Adam, I say, as you become the 20th president of Denison, my hope for you is that you will become ambitious for Denison in this transformative way, as Denison has been for all of its students for generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. The Board of Trustees has ultimate authority and responsibility for Denison. The Board of Trustees hires, with the advice and counsel of faculty, students, alumni, and staff, the president of the university. Thomas A. Hoagland, Denison class of 1971, and chair of the Board of Trustees, will deliver the charge to Adam S. Weinberg and formally invest him as president.
Adam Weinberg, it is my great privilege to welcome you formally as you assume the presidency of Denison University. As you know, the process of your selection was extensive and participative, reflective of the spirit of Denison. We knew that our incoming president would join a community of accomplished faculty, talented students, engaged alumni, and dedicated staff at a pivotal moment in Denison's history. From a position of great strength, we sought a president who would rightly fit in a long line of outstanding presidents, a strategic thinker and discerning listener who could creatively, collaboratively, and courageously address our opportunities as well as our challenges, an intellectual role model who possesses a demonstrated record of visionary leadership, and a thoughtful, fair, and compassionate scholar with a passion for the liberal arts, strong business acumen, and global perspective. And given the pressures and demands of a college presidency these days, we thought that a sense of humor would help too. President Weinberg, we found all this and more in you. We've chosen you to lead Denison University into the next chapter of the life of the college. As thrilled as we are to have found you in the search, we also are proud and humbled that you chose Denison. Your presence here is a testament to the quality of this institution, and we look forward to working with you as you guide and shape this college in the years to come. I present to you Adam Weinberg, 20th President of Denison University.
Thank you. So Tom, thank you for those nice words. When the ceremony is over, I'll invite my teenagers to come up and give the counter argument. I have some prepared remarks, but before I give those, I just want to do one thing. I've had a lot of good things happen to me in my life, but I was so deeply touched when I walked in today and saw how many students showed up. You all are wonderful. If everybody in the audience could just join me in celebrating the incredible human beings who are the Denison students. Our chamber singers, you were great. Our field hockey team, thank you for showing up in full force. You should be on the field. You got a big game this weekend. Good luck. I want to start by thanking and acknowledging our distinguished guests, faculty, students, my family, and others in attendance. I want to thank the impressive line of Denison presidents who came before me, including Dale Noble, Michelle Myers, and Andrew Duraco, who are here today. I want to thank the members of our Board of Trustees for your faith in my leadership. And most importantly, I want to thank the larger Denison and Granville communities for the incredibly warm welcome you've extended to my family and me. I'm honored to be Denison's 20th president. The title of this talk is taken from remarks delivered in 1831 by the Reverend George C. Cedric. He offered these remarks in the meeting house of the Granville Baptist Church in a speech that would launch what would become Denison University. I chose this title because it suggests continuity across 180 years. Denison has always been Denison, and it has always been driven by a missionary zeal to provide an education that matters. Samantha Driver, Denison class of 2012, captured the spirit of Denison at her commencement when she wrote, "This education is a privilege and an honor that transcends any monetary value, and it is our responsibility as graduates to use the knowledge we have gained to make the world a better place." Samantha was a first-generation college student from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, who wrote with passion about how Denison opened her eyes and expanded her horizons, allowing her to see an enlarged view of her role in the world. Each year, Denison sends students like Samantha out into the world, as part of a vital stream of human capital. We produce leaders, community builders, and innovative thinkers. You saw a little bit of that up on the stage today. Our students remind us of the power of the liberal arts through the lives they lead. They demonstrate how the liberal arts not only free us to become the person we want to be, they allow us to become a much better person than we otherwise might have been. David, that's why I wanted you to deliver the remarks today. You have led the life that only a liberal arts graduate could lead, and in the course of doing so, you've made the world a more free and just place. As many of you know, I spent the last 8 years running an organization called World Learning. I spent those years working with young people from around the world who want to address the big issues like human rights, climate change, and global poverty. They came from places like Ethiopia and Ecuador and Egypt. While doing this work, it became clear to me that we can effectively address every single one of the big issues we face. But we can only do this if we produce a new generation that can thrive in diverse environments, embrace constant change, and work together in teams. Because the global challenges this generation will face are complex and interconnected, we need graduates who are independent thinkers, collaborative problem solvers. We need graduates who know how to work effectively with others, even if they don't particularly like them. That's the project of the liberal arts. I can speak from personal experience. I know the profound effect the liberal arts can have on somebody. I'm a product of a liberal arts background. 30 years ago, I arrived at Bowdoin College. In truth, I think Bowdoin admitted me because I was a pretty good ice hockey player, and they thought I could handle the coursework. By the time I left 4 years later, I had become an accomplished student, educated in the liberal arts tradition, and ready to take on the world. It started in the classroom, with faculty who exposed me to ideas, conversations, and debates. They took the time to get to know me, and perhaps just importantly, they allowed me to get to know them. By their actions and thoughts, even their lifestyles, they embodied what the liberal arts are all about: questioning, communicating, problem solving, and nourishing the heart and mind. They started me on a personal, professional, and civic journey dedicated to understanding and creating stronger civil societies. That journey has taken me around the world by day. It's kept me up late at night reading, and as my wife Ann knows better than anybody else, it ignited a passion for writing that often consumes the early morning hours when much saner people are sleeping. My education also came from the residential qualities of a liberal arts education. I learned to live with the first-year roommates. One descended from Boston wealth, the other from a working-class background, the son of first-generation Americans. We came to find humor in one another and remained friends for 30 years. I learned from an ice hockey coach who helped me hone a fierce desire to succeed while emphasizing humility and teamwork. I learned from student affairs professionals who push me to think and act ethically, appreciate difference, and ask how to create community. Those attributes of the liberal arts, qualities that shape me so profoundly, are in full force at Denison. As Casey put it this afternoon, there's a DNA to a Denison person and a core to our culture that I've quickly fallen in love with. It starts with the strength of the enduring relationships we form on this hill, where our faculty mentor students in their offices, laboratories, stages, studios, and a plethora of other places. I love the way mentoring at Denison extends across the campus to athletics, the arts, student organizations, work-study jobs, and residential halls. I'm impressed by how our students mentor one another, creating a sense of community and then challenging others to contribute. I love the way our students push each other to make good decisions and about how to live together because they understand that each has a responsibility towards one another. I even love the debates in the bullsheet, where they argue about what this actually means. As a result, the deep relationships they form live up to our mission statement, which reads, Denison strives to produce people who are autonomous thinkers, discerning moral agents, and engaged citizens. As we look ahead to the challenges facing the liberal arts, many people are questioning our financial model for its cost and return on investment. Others are asking us to step up and do more in our local communities. At the same time, technology, internationalization, and new pedagogical approaches are challenging our models of teaching and learning. Since July, I've been on a type of listening tour of campus, meeting with many small groups to learn about their hopes and dreams for Denison. As I've listened to our faculty, staff, and students, I've begun to imagine a few focused steps we can take to address these issues. First, we need to raise our visibility. At this moment in time, Denison is one of the healthiest liberal arts colleges in the country. We have outstanding students, an engaged faculty, an exciting curriculum, a motivated and well-functioning board, a large endowment, little to no deferred maintenance, healthy campus dynamics, and strong town-gown relationships. We need to tell our story because it speaks to the value of Denison, but also because it speaks to the overall value of a high-quality, high-touch liberal arts education. In my view, the story that Denison has to tell is about being driven by a few core principles that have anchored us. First, being managed with fiscal conservatism and keeping our resources focused on student learning. Embracing the curriculum and co-curriculum as connected and reinforcing. Facing challenges by embracing who we are and always remaining Denison. And demanding a lot from one another by asking that every member of our community remains committed to the common whole and to the mission of the institution. There's a Midwestern humility to Denison that I love. Having just spent 20 years in the Northeast, it's kind of refreshing, and it's part of our DNA. But we need to make sure that our humility does not get in the way of letting the higher education community know how strong and creative we are as an institution. Second, we need to deepen student learning. As we gain a greater understanding about the science of learning, it's more and more clear to me that active pedagogies and mentorship are core to the learning process. Denison is a high-touch place where every interaction matters. Our students are smart, multi-talented, engaged, passionate, and just plain fun to be around. We have twin strengths in athletics and arts that's bringing an array of interesting, talented, and motivated students to Denison. The question for us will be, how do we embrace and enhance the high-touch learning that takes place in ways that creates more of the mentorship moments that prepare our students for success in their personal, professional, and civic lives? It starts in the classroom. Denison has a world-class faculty that's focused on our students. During my initial weeks at Denison, I've been struck by the commitment and talents of our faculty. If one could measure the commitment of a faculty to its students, ours would be at the very top of the list. As I listen to our faculty, I hear exciting ideas for leveraging our historic commitments and strengths in undergraduate research, team teaching, project-based work, off-campus excursions, and other forms of active learning. We need to continually create an enabling environment that unleashes the creativity and passions of our faculty to continually invent and reinvent teaching and research in ways that allows them to work closely with our students as mentors, exploring the world of ideas and creating new ideas and expressions of knowledge. At the same time, we need to continue our historic strength in extending learning across campus life to create a co-curriculum. Thank you. Dale has helped me in many ways during the transition. At the same time, we need to continue our strength in extending learning across campus life to create a co-curriculum that also shapes student learning. We need to take full advantage of a residential education model by continuing to refine our first-year program, to onboard our students into college quickly and successfully, ensuring that they take full advantage of a 4-year experience. We need to continue to build on our successful leadership programs to ensure that student organizations of all kinds are helping students develop important skills, values, and habits. And we need to remain focused on residential halls as maybe some of the most interesting sites for practicing the liberal arts skills you acquire in the classroom. I have always believed that a college campus should be seen as a series of design studios or spaces where students come together to invent and remix knowledge as a way to perform new ideas and approaches. This is happening at Denison. We are pulling on the diversity of our students, leveraging our pluralistic campus culture to create a truly unique entrepreneurial campus that challenges students to be problem solvers and architects of their own Denison experience. This incredible mix of an engaged faculty and staff, pluralistic student body, and an intentional curriculum and co-curriculum forms the core of what will drive Denison forward, allowing us to deepen student learning in ways that embody and embrace the liberal arts. Our focus is on our students. Our impact comes from the way we mentor them for success in life. And finally, we need to ensure that our students are successful after they leave Denison. Across the 4 years, we need to help students ask big questions about the lives they want to lead and how careers fit into those lives. We need to continually provide seminars, internships, externships, and other kinds of programs that help students acquire the skills, the values, the habits, and experiences they will need to help them along the way. We need to find new ways to fully leverage the commitment of our alumni and parents to help students see the arc of a professional life and gain entrance into key networks. And we need to do this in ways that builds runways for our students into the array of exciting professions that will shape the future. My grandfather was a great man. He once told me at a Rotary Club meeting in the middle of rural Arkansas that the best speakers get up, they tell a joke, and then they sit down. But I have a PhD. If he were here today, I have no doubt he would be proud, but he'd also be in the front row sleeping. So let me end. I want to thank the board, the faculty, staff, students, and the entire Denison community for being so warm and welcoming. Most importantly, I want to thank my family, starting with my best friend, my partner, and my wife, Ann. I want to thank my mother and father-in-law, all of my extended family who came today, and I want to really extend a thanks for today and for many other days to the true joys of my life, my children, Margaret, Nathan, and Abigail. Abigail, we asked you to skip a field trip today, then we put you in a black dress and made you sit in the sun for 2 hours. You are a wonderful 7-year-old. I want to thank each of my children for embracing this journey with me. Your ability to adapt to change suggests that somewhere buried in our parenting, we're giving you a little bit of the liberal arts at home. I want to close by saying that I relish our journey together. Although it's early in the academic year, I've fallen in love with this place. It's wonderful. The students, the faculty, the campus, there's something magical that takes place on this hill every day, and I'm just deeply proud and honored to be a part of it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to invite everybody to stay standing. We're going to sing the alma mater. Our music faculty asked me to stand away from the mic because they heard me sing the last time we did this.
Members of the audience, please be seated for the faculty, guests of other universities, trustee, and platform party recession. Following the recessional, please meet us on the academic quad to welcome again President Weinberg and to host a reception in his honor along with his family and guests.